Today's meme of the day is...
Hey! This motherfucker got them big keys! I gotta get out of here!
So yeah, I don't really have any other way to say this. We're getting the Master Chief versus Doomguy.
It's rematch time, everybody!
Alright, yep. Let's bloody go! Two of my favourite shooters of all time are going at it again. Now, I'm going to be a bit negative at the start, only because I want to get this out of the way just so we can talk about the potential in this episode. First of all, I'm really annoyed how they revealed this episode originally, because Death Battle, you tried to hide it, but when, I think it was with Omni-Man versus Bardock, they just... So, you know, they finished with the whole rematch poll and stuff like that, and they just announced, hey, which episode we're doing next? Oh, in the comments of the video, in the pinned comment, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing Master Chief versus Doomguy. It's like, wow.
Yeah, like, I can understand if they wanted to do something where they presented it in the theater, like, and people were just keeping it a secret for months. Like, that would have been way better.
Yeah, like, on one hand, it's like, hey, cool, we're getting a Master Chief versus Doomguy rematch, because I think of all the episodes of Season 1, that is definitely one that's needed a revamp.
Yeah. Well,
it
also
was the
just
only Season 1 option on the poll.
Yeah, of all the rematch options, like, that one, like, was... No, that was the one.
Yeah.
I voted for this one.
I think I did too, as well as, I think it was Peach v Zelda.
I voted for Ben versus Hal just with his fireball off.
Wait, which one?
16.
Okay, like, regardless of how they revealed this episode, you know, the other thing I was kind of annoyed by with this episode, and this is more so on a personal level, I'm so annoyed that we finally get another Halo character in Death Battle, and it's just a rematch episode of the Master Chief.
Yeah,
over 10 years
actually,
of Death Battle, and this is the second Halo matchup. And no, Red vs. Blue episodes don't count.
I was going to go into that. So, for my reaction, assuming I'm able to get a new camera in time, which hopefully, because yeah, that was a thing for those who didn't know, my camera like just broke during my recording of like Maito Shigaraki.
Oh no, your anime became Shigaraki in real life and he touched his webcam. You fool!
But one thing I do plan on doing, if I can get my reaction done for this, is just being like, sort of like Deadpool and Deadpool Wolverine when he comments on the costume. Just being like, we finally got Halo back on the show. That only took 12 freaking years.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm not that annoyed the fact, oh, we finally get another Halo episode and it's the Master Chief. I do feel as though, did it really need to take this long to get another Halo match? I wouldn't have been annoyed if Master Chief came back, but why did it take people voting in a rematch to get another episode? And the thing that's sad, we've had more Red vs. Blue characters in Death Battle than we've had a Halo episode.
Oh my god, that's actually true.
Yeah, I think part of the reason may also just be like there are some matchups that, as Nate begrudgingly doesn't like, that fit better for other characters, like with Predator.
Mm-hmm.
What was that episode again?
Don't you fucking dare.
I think it went a little something like a Boba Fett? Something to do with Boba Fett. Now, okay, but, you know, those are my nitpicks, because as much as I was a little annoyed how this episode was revealed, and the fact this is one of the, you know, only 2 Halo episodes we've gotten, I don't freaking care. We're getting Master Chief and Doomguy in the Death Battle, or Doomslayer, he's now canonically known as, which does sound cooler, but I've always kind of liked to call him Doomguy, just because, like, they couldn't be bothered to give this character an actual name. They were just like, the game's called Doom, we play as a guy, let's just call him Doomguy.
Okay.
And you know, with the next Doom game where you freaking have a chainsaw shield, let's go.
You can pilot a goddamn mech and fly a dragon.
That's pretty darn epic. So talking about like these franchises just on their own, Halo was very big when it first came out. One, it was coming out on a new console, which many people thought were going to fail. Many people to this day still say it's going to fail. It's like, people, it's been like over 20 years. We need to accept the fact Xbox is here to stay. But Halo also changed video games in a way. Like, shooters were a thing, but they weren't as big as they used to be after, like, the jump to 3D and stuff like that. And just this little project, which I can't remember what the original name for it, but originally Halo was going to be a strategy game. Kind of similar to what Halo Wars would eventually be. And then it became a first-person shooter, which was... I still remember first getting that as a kid, like, on the original Xbox, and playing it for hours with my brother. Not just like the multiplayer aspects, like, you know, fighting each other, but also just the story mode. I also do find it still comedic, like, they never have an in-law explanation why there's another green Spartan next to Master Chief if you do a two-player. Like, future games, they'll actually acknowledge why there's other Spartans or why is the Arbiter helping out Master Chief. That was also a cool aspect of Halo 3, like, you couldn't play as the Arbiter unless you did a co-op. Which is, I still think it's kind of cool. But yeah, Halo, when it first came out, was one of those games that it looked like it was going to be like, it was very Star Wars inspired. But the fact it was one of those games that had like epic, like, you're facing all these aliens, you're a one-man army. And then it became a horror game midway through when they introduced the Flood. To this day, the Flood level from the first Halo game is still one of the most creepy levels in any non-horror games I've ever played. Like, you know, slaughtering demons in Doom should be scary, but not when you're playing as a man who literally relishes and overpowers demons, that he even has a horror story around him in hell. The Flood was something different.
You become the horror story.
Yeah, I still remember playing like that level and just going through the large majority of the level, like, where are all the enemies? There's just loads of dead people and this one Marine tried to kill me. And then the Flood appeared and little childhood Billy Lily shits pants. I wanted people to, you know, keep that in mind. I was not scared of Berserk. I wasn't scared of, like, Dawn of the Dead as a kid. But I was scared of little, blobby little zombie aliens in Halo. Childhood Bill was weird. And yeah, Master Chief quickly became one of my favourite main characters in not just video games, but just first-person shooters. And they eventually adapted his character to be a bit more than just a typical badass one-liner guy. That aside, though, I still love his freaking bomb scene from Halo 2's opening level.
Oh, that scene is great.
Yeah. You know, he deactivates the bomb and he says, like, "Sir, permission to leave the station. For what purpose? To give the Covenant back their bomb." The Commander's just like, okay.
What if you miss? I won't.
Yeah. And, you know, fun fact as well for people, when Master Chief blew up that one Covenant ship, they're meant to house millions of Covenant soldiers. Like, can you imagine being one of those poor, unfortunate people who's like, right, it's my first day in the Covenant, can't wait to slaughter humans. Like, hey, isn't that the bomb we planted in the... You're just in hell, like, wow, I didn't even get to kill one person. Freaking green guy just flew in and blew me up.
It was my first day. Bitch, I was 2 days away from retirement. Don't even.
It's just a Zangelli just sat next to him, arms crossed, like, 2 days? Just do one more mission, Derek. That's all you had to do. Bloody idiot. Also, I don't know why. It's just funny to imagine one of the elites is called Derek. You have Val Vadimir, Derek.
Yeah. By the way, I was imagining like just a grunt being like the first one I was talking about.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You know what, man? The grunts. When you actually read into the lore about each of the alien species in the Covenant, I feel sorry for the grunts. They I mean, they were one of the few aliens that actually nearly destroyed the Covenant, and then the Covenant just went, how about we make your planet uninhabitable?
And there's a skull in the game where if you get a headshot on them, confetti and a yay sound.
Yippee!
Yeah, like, gameplay-wise, they're fun to kill because they're just those little... You know, they're the weak aliens that are just meant to be the body count for you. You know what's funny though? People say they are like the weakest aliens. They're weak to Spartans, people. These guys are actually 7 foot tall compared to you. Like, grunts are not small to a normal human. But to a Master Chief, yeah, they're going to be small to him. But they also have really strong arms. Turns out they literally climb through mountains, kind of like how Knuckles does. Like, they punch through concrete to climb up it, which I'm like, how the hell do you guys get killed so easily?
Well, they also kill each other a lot. Like, something I did used to do in Halo Reach was, like, if I was playing Firefight, sometimes I would, like, just go into theater mode and see what was happening. Yet some grunts just killed each other at points.
Yeah, like, that, you know, just because they're powerful, like, the fact they managed to overwhelm the Covenant at one point, doesn't mean they aren't stupid. They are really stupid. Like, I still love that other moment from Halo 2 when the Prophet of Truth was giving this whole, like, nothing can stop us now, and then while she just teleports in, and the Grunt's like getting ready to fight, and Chief just goes boo, and he's like, F this shit. Like, that's the equivalent of, like, Donald Trump giving a speech. Freaking Satan comes in, and one of his bodyguards just goes like, nope, throws his gun in the air to the demon. Just like,
by the way, we should explain, to those who don't know, the Covenant called Chief Demon, because he's killed a lot of them.
Oh yeah, like, before the game, no, I think this is as the same time the game came out, a prequel book called The Fall of Reach, because when you played the first game, Cortana mentions how when they fled from Reach, which kind of seems like a throwaway line, it's actually kind of cool, they actually expanded it in the novel, and then a few years later they kind of retconned it with the video game that would eventually come out, which I like Halo Reach. People say the story's weak, but I think it's...
Dude, I love Halo Reach. It is my favorite Halo.
It's a good game.
Reach definitely has the best single-player campaign.
Yeah, but people say it's not as strong story-wise compared to like the original games. Like, well, yeah, but it's a spin-off game. You know, it's just meant to be like a prequel.
It has more personality and character.
Yeah,
that's what it has.
And fun fact, actually, Noble 6 is kind of compared to Master Chief in terms of stats. But yeah, like, I was actually in one of the trailers when they talk about Noble 6, they say only one other Spartan has ever managed to reach the level of, like, Noble 6, which is kind of hinted to Master Chief.
You know what's one thing I kind of hope that they try to do with Master Chief's analysis? Just roast the shit out of the Halo TV show.
Oh, please. The fact Netflix tried to act like, hey, look, we've got the Halo TV show now. And I'm like, great, you have a cancelled show.
Oh, great. You tried to make Master Chief look like a pathetic idiot.
Oh, they did it with the Arbiter as well. It's like, oh, great, you're bringing one of the coolest elites in the entire series, and he's just the most generic villain you could ever... I want to die with honor. It's like you are... It's like, you are meant to be that same deep character that would eventually realize that his army that he's been fighting for years is kind of corrupt and also not as truthful as, ironically, his leader is named to be.
Yeah, and go on to save, well, most of his species.
Yeah,
I say most because there is that some of them that still believe in that great journey bullshit.
Crazy zealots that still believe in an idiotic leader's beliefs and lies. This is clearly a work of fiction.
Speaking of fiction, Doom is just whatever fiction that ID wants to do.
Yeah, like, okay, like, the thing that I'm excited about both these two is that these two are just badass incarnate. Like, even the first ever Doom game, like, yeah, there were comic books that went into more details about who Doomguy was. Like, he was a Marine, he was asked to kill a bunch of civilians, and he just decided, how about no, because that's not what I joined the army for, and how about I just beat you to death?
This guy was basically the prequel John Wick when it came to why he's killing demons.
Oh, yeah.
More so than you might think.
Yeah. The demon that killed his pet rabbit, you've doomed your entire universe.
Just give this man a pencil.
I'm disappointed none of you guys laughed at my joke. I said he doomed
I was
their
too
universe.
busy. I was too busy making my reference.
Fair enough. No, people go like, when they compare like Halo to Doom's story, they say like Doom has the weakest story. It's like, Doom is just a game where you're just meant to be cool. Like, the first game, you start off with a pistol, then chainsaw, then guns. Like, in fact, the first Doom game, there's no story unless you read the manual. A lot of games were like that back then. If you didn't know the story, you had to, like, read the manual you got. Then they realized most people didn't do that, and they decided to add opening cutscenes to a lot of their games. But yeah, Doom literally just spawns in, and you just don't know what to do, you just know to kill things. While a very epic theme tune plays in the background. Which, yes, that is the theme tune I'm using for this episode.
I think it was the one I used for my video too.
Yeah, but
It's really good.
the thing that oh, sorry, go ahead.
Almost all the games are great. Almost all the games are great. Then there's Doom 3.
I've actually heard people say the game is good, it just doesn't feel like a Doom game, more like a horror game, which is kind of weird because I've always just seen Doom. Like, I tend to forget there was a Doom 3 because I only played Doom 1 and 2, and then what was at the time, the reboots, until Doom Eternal revealed, oh no, you're playing as the same Doomguy, it's just, you know, he's been sealed away by hell. And then they reawoken him.
Gonna make him scarier.
Yeah, there's this, you can find these like data logs that demons say about Doomslayer, and the fact that demons have stories about Doomguy is hilarious, but it also shows just how badass he is. Like, there was this joke that someone posted years ago when the first demon you encounter in the new Doom game is that he roars at you. Someone in the comments wrote, he's not roaring, he's in his pants right now. And
Doom's just one of those games where you can just turn your brain off and just have fun.
yeah, but they do sneak in a bit of personality to Doomguy, showing he's not just a guy that rips and tears. Like, for instance, when you get in the elevator after slaughtering your first horde of demons, still one of the best opening levels in any reboot. When you start talking to the guy who owns the organization, he's talking about, you know, there's been like, he goes like, there have been some errors. Doomguy just looks down at an innocent human corpse, and then you see him like cracking his knuckles so angrily as he's looking at the camera. And the guy says, everything we've done is worth the risk. As soon as he says that, Doomguy just punches the camera. You know, like, the fact the guy said, like, losing all these innocent people was necessary. Doomguy's just like, F you.
I tried to find a GIF because, like, some people may think, oh, Doomguy's just like a heartless, emotionless guy. But I was trying to find the GIF. I think we'll know what I'm talking about. Where he grabs the human ID, scans it, and then just walks away.
Yeah, well, I remember seeing that trailer. You notice how he's very gentle when it comes to human, because for a guy that can rip limbs off people, like, he has to be gentle. There's also a moment when some security guards try and stop him, like, hey, you can't be here. And he just takes the gun and just walks away like, he's like, try and stop me.
Stop me if you can. I'll just make you go to early retirement.
And obviously this became a meme for a while when Doomguy had to like launch himself to Mars through using the freaking BFG gun. And the guy's like, you can't just launch yourself to Mars. And then an audience goes, now programming cannon to fire to Mars. And Doomguy just gets in the cannon, just all casual, like fire me up.
Beam me up, Scotty.
He's like, shoot me up, Scotty. You mean beam you up? It's like, did I stutter?
You mean like literally or like with drugs?
I said what I said, Scotty.
Alright, and then just injects him with that makes him hallucinate, and that's the whole Doom series.
Oh god.
What isn't that? I was about to say that.
There's a headcanon.
Yeah. Speaking of headcanons, like, I remember, I think it was Doom Eternal. Like, that came out like the same day as Animal Crossing, and then just the headcanon between Animal Crossing and Doom fans was like, on their off days, they play each other's games.
Oh my god, yes. The memes, they need to reference that.
Has to be referenced.
They have to reference it. I remember, I can't remember the name of this animator who's done a few like really cool Nintendo animations. He did one where Isabel and Doomguy were going to like a GameStop, picking up the receipts, and the clerk is just like, really? Gives Doomguy like Animal Crossing here. He pulls out a freaking Animal Crossing bag and puts it in. Isabel
I think
puts
I've
up.
seen that.
Yeah, and then Isabel comes and he looks at it, he's just like, really again? Gives her the Doom game and gives her the Doom Special Edition helmet. She just gleefully puts it on and walks out.
Yeah, I remember seeing something similar, but it was like Ruby and Cinder.
No,
Like,
wait, hang on.
yeah, Ruby
Hang
plays
on.
Doom and Cinder plays Animal Crossing.
Oh wow, that is actually hilarious. But why can't more fan bases be like that? Like, yeah, both games are extremely different.
I had to find this. This is a masterpiece.
Oh yes, I've seen that one. Like, I remember seeing like a Smash Bros. Comic book where I think they were all having like a party, and Isabel got hurt, and you see Doomguy just holding her so sad, and then you just see him go red, and it just cuts to everyone floating in space. Like, whoops. Like the music, why can't more fan bases be like this? Like, acknowledge both of you guys are extremely different, but kind of have more wholesome stuff. Like, this just ain't wholesome about seeing a freaking giant muscular man in body armor just being adorable with like cute animal characters. That will never not be great.
Yeah.
Leave
Did
it
you ever
to
watch Devil Artemis's, I think at first it was Cell vs. Bugs, in which Kermit like shoots Isabel, and then in a later episode that gets referenced, but it's like Doomguy showing up at the ring and he just beats the shit out of Kermit.
Any episode where Kermit just gets his comeuppance is always great. Like when they did one with Kazuha, and he's just like, I mean,
Yep,
it's like
that's the one.
Like the one I remember is like when Kazuha like beat up like Kermit, like so I was like, I want to be a Tekken. I mean, you're not missing much. Tekken's mid anyway. Bark! Like Kermit getting his ass handed in the Cellverse series is top tier comedy. But yeah, like so regarding this episode though, there's been a weird controversy surrounding this episode. Well, it's more so to do with like fan bases arguing that this episode's a stomp, this episode's not a stomp. I will say, once again, similar to like Shigaraki versus Mihito, I don't consider this a stomp. Or like, you know, this character has nothing going about him. But I do agree with the majority.
Server.
Yeah, sorry, go
What we
ahead.
heard in the server, it's from what the server was saying, it's a lot closer than people are realizing apparently.
Yeah, like, okay, like the original Doom and Halo fight is like, is it a bit outdated? Yeah, but Doom didn't really have that much lore to go by. Halo has books, animated series, and anime series. One where they have a Spartan called 1337. 1337, I'm not even kidding, look that up. Which funny,
He's like absurdly lucky.
yeah. And funny enough, I think someone from Dragon Ball originally animated, because there was this like Halo Legend series where they got different animators to do like a special episode. Many of these were apparently originally pitches for a Halo TV show, which explains why some of them kind of end on like a cliffhanger-ish sort of way. But many of them...
If I remember right, there was like some Spartans that escaped and then discovered like what the UNSC did to cover up the whole kidnapping children thing.
Oh god, that to this day, that episode still makes me cry. Like, I can't watch that Halo Legends.
There was like this Marine who like, I think he put on this like experimental like mech suit and just like slaughters a bunch of Covenant. There was like an Arbiter versus a whole army.
Yeah,
And it's like a 1v1 showdown with him and a Brute Chieftain.
that is perhaps my favorite episode due to the fact that one, I love the Japanese art style they were going with for that episode, but also the fact that it was also a tragic end. Because it ended in that typical samurai way, both the main antagonist and main villain clash, they both get each other with a lethal blow, and they both die, and in the character's last moments he thought of his wife. Which it was also one of the few Halo shows where we got to see female elites. And I'm just
Because
like...
yeah, those exist.
Yeah, because it was one of those things as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, how did they repopulate and stuff like that? It's like, okay, yeah, there's female versions, makes sense. Like,
Oh, they're
What a
not the
weird thing to
Mechians.
think- What a weird thing to think as a kid. How do elites reproduce?
I mean, well, I wasn't really a kid at the time. I was thinking I was like 50. I guess I was still kind of a kid, but I was reaching those teenage years. It was like, you know, you do question things like that.
Yeah, like when I was when I was watching Dragon Ball when I was younger, I questioned that about Namekians because, like, wait, there's no females. Like, how?
Yeah.
I never actually did any of that. I was just raised in the countryside for most of my life, and then I got told to go to regular high school again when I moved back to where I belonged.
I like the fact you put on like a freaking southern accent. Never do that again.
What? You don't like my southern accent? How freaking dare you?
I mean, it was funny when we did it, when you used it in the Left 4 Dead video, and it led to me being plummeted off a building. But yeah,
that just means we gotta play more Left 4 Dead.
We really do. It's such a fun game. But yeah, going back to the whole like controversy, like I can see why people are saying this is a lot closer. People say because yeah, the original Doomguy versus Master Chief episode, Doomguy didn't have that much lore and stuff like that, and you couldn't really say these demons were like the universe, or like, you know, mythology, hell and demons are definitely a lot different than Doom's hell and demons, because really the Doom demons are kind of like aliens to an extent. You know, they're just really powerful, but they exist in another plane of existence, and they have advanced technology. But as, you know, the games have gone on, there's a bit more lore to them. It reveals these demons are a lot more powerful, whereas the original games was just you shoot them and they die. that was the lore. Whereas Halo has like an expansive lore. They talk about how to... Like, the Master Chief in the games is nothing like the books. Like, there was a moment in the Fall of Reach book where, you know those little needle guns that shoot him, and when you hit them enough times they explode?
Yep,
Yeah,
super combined.
Yeah, Chief pulled a lot of them out before they exploded and threw them aside. Like, he literally got hit with them, pulls them out, it's just like, yeah, whatever. Or, how about the freaking...
Frank Christ.
Or how about, oh, a Banshee's flying his way. What does Chief do? He jumps in the air and punches it out of the sky.
Yeah.
That would have come in handy during the second level of Halo Combat Evolved, when I was being blasted by them on Legendary.
No. Here are a couple of things that would have been useful. In Halo Legends, there's a part where the energy sword can block bullets.
Yeah.
I think this is in a comic when, I can't remember, like, the context, but basically, Chief's being shot at by this missile, and it's like a heat-seeking missile. He doesn't do anything, and Cortana's just like, wait, what are you doing? He's just like, well, it's tracking me. Like, what's the point in dodging it?
Oh, yeah.
So we asked Cortana to, like, calculate, like, basically his reaction timing, or, like, movement, the trajectory of the missile, and I think it's even stated, like, in less than a heartbeat, she does it.
Well, actually, another weird fact... Oh, sorry, go ahead, finish that.
Like, and the missile is, like, an inch away from his visor. He just backhands it, sends it flying, and it explodes.
Yeah. And not only that, in the novels of Halo, the scientists behind the Spartans have said they actually find the Spartans' reaction time incalculable. Like, they can move so fast, computers can't even calculate it. Keep in mind that Halo's set in, like, the year, like, 25,000.
2552, I remember, was Halo 3.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of years have passed, but... Yeah, and also, Chief's origin story is, Jesus Christ, is it dark.
If I remember right, like, one part of his origin was he was basically like playing King of the Hill with like some kids in like a playground, and Dr. Halsey like approached him and asked him to, well, she flips a coin and asked him to guess like where it landed on, and he guessed correctly like multiple times in a row.
Yeah. Or how about that time when he was using gym equipment, he accidentally killed a bunch of ODST that were trying to bully him.
At 14 years old.
Yeah. And, yeah, Chief doesn't even remember his parents. Because his whole years of being in the military, he's just forgotten a lot of his childhood because he's only known to be a soldier. He's also, similar to like Doomguy, Master Chief feels so much empathy towards the Marines. Like, in the Halo Infinite opening, when you're flying through, like, the debris, he's punching, like, the Covenant out of the way, but you see when he handles Marines, he just moves them, like, gently. Because he doesn't disrespect dead Spartan Marines. Until the players start playing, then we start bashing the ragdolls.
Yeah, or just like just killing a Marine because he's got a rocket launcher or a sniper and we want it.
Yeah, in a lot of the books, though, Master Chief is willing to jump in the way to protect humans, soldiers, because, as sad it is to say, Spartans were actually disposable soldiers. Hence, the name Spartans. Spartans were, in our history, Spartans were meant to be soldiers that were born for war and just have to fight until they die. Like, that's their life. That's basically what the Spartans were. They were seen, even though they're so powerful, they were seen less than a Marine was. However, many of the Marines respected Master Chief because when he was on the battlefield, he was kind of like that symbol of hope, you know, that unstoppable force. I mean, if you're in the middle of a dire situation, you see the Master Chief flip a tank over with one hand, you're like, you would feel so much motivation seeing that. And now, I understand why people are kind of angry when people say this is a stomp, because it does feel as though a little bit of the community is kind of trashing on Master Chief, but it's like...
Yeah, they are.
We have said this in the past, people. Just because a character will lose a death battle doesn't mean death battle is going to disrespect them or, you know, their character. Like, I don't think they're just going to have the Master Chief die like a bitch. I think they are going to have Doomguy have a bit of respect for the character.
I remember throwing this out there in another VC. What if, like, Chief takes off Doomslayer's arm?
It's gonna be one hell of a fight, like, regardless, though, as well. Didn't mean it to be a joke, but there we go. I kind of hope it's 3D.
It has to be, dude.
Yeah, you
never
can't...
know what they're gonna do.
I mean, they did say in the past they really wish they did hold this episode back just till they could do 3D, but because there was so much hype for Master Chief, especially with Halo 3 that came out at the same time. Well, no, it didn't come out at the same time, but as Halo was still its popularity.
I think it was coming out, like, not long after the announcement of Halo 4.
Yeah,
because because in the combatants are set screen, you can see the announcement video in there.
They also kind of...
Also, there's a shot of Red vs. Blue in Chief's analysis.
But yeah, because as much as I say, you know, that episode is still a good episode, you can't lie, the fight itself is very underwhelming.
It has the funniest ending, though.
It does. Teabagging Master Chief. Another thing...
No, it's teabagging Doomguy.
No, teabagging, like the Master Chief teabagging, that's what I mean.
Oh, right.
But yeah, like, I think there are things I can say I think the Master Chief potentially has, like, advantages over. One, I definitely feel as though he's the more disciplined soldier compared to Doomguy, who lets his rage take over him, which can be beneficial, but Master Chief has dealt with people who just go out into a bloodlust rage. I mean, brutes are basically alien versions of Doomguy when he gets the rage ball. I've
heard from someone who's, like, more into versus than we are, that, like, you'd have to convince him that Chief isn't faster.
I would actually agree Chief is faster due to the fact there's been many occasions in the novels and animated stories where Chief is flying through space with a jetpack or a weird motorbike minigun thing. The Halo animes were weird. And yeah, he's able to react to ships that are moving at light speed. And, you know...
There's actually...
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one instance I remember hearing. It's in one of the novels, like those thruster packs the Spartans have.
Yeah.
Chief had one, and he was able to, like, keep pace with a Covenant cruiser, which was stated to be moving at a certain speed, and it was 9% the speed of light.
And fun fact, actually, they eventually did an animated adaptation of that.
Think of how this debate's being kind of like, from what I can tell, it's that Doomguy definitely, I feel like, is more physically superior, like power-wise, and Chief is faster.
Yeah, I would also say his reaction time is potentially faster as well, because as we've seen from the scientists in the Halo books, they say the Spartan speed with their reaction time is incalculable. And, you know, with Mate referencing that time Chief managed to just get Cortana to do a calculation on the rocket and backhanding it, it's consistent.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, that's like... I mean, I know AIs, like, augment their reaction time.
Yeah, but still, like, it's consistent with a lot of things that have been established about Spartans.
Which, that is something I hope they do in this fight, and it's just just mentioned Cortana.
She is going to be a valuable
Where was
asset.
she in the previous episode?
Yeah, I think she is going to play a bigger part in this fight because her and Chief do kind of need each other. The thing though, I would definitely say I agree with what people say. In terms of arsenal, Doomguy definitely has the advantage. Not only is his weaponry more powerful, he has the advantage of having a lot of his weapons on him at all times.
Well, I would definitely say, from an offensive point of view, yes, but I think Chief has more defensive countermeasures compared to Doomslayer, because Doomslayer doesn't really need defense. He's just gonna punch you to death.
Yeah,
I mean, Chief has like hard light shields, bubble shields.
Yeah.
I know
As far
in
as I
Infinite
know-
there's that thing you use and it can like deflect projectiles.
Like,
Yeah, as far as I'm
I forget
aware,
what.
as far as I'm aware, Doomslayer doesn't really have any defensive things in his arsenal besides the chainsaw shield. But they're not. I don't think they're gonna go into Dark Ages, honestly.
yeah. Which makes me kind of think maybe Chief already wins because Doomguy already wins because if they're not waiting for this game to come out before it, they probably already have a reason to say. But here's the thing as well. I think the competition that both these two face clearly showcases who's more powerful. The demons in like the Doom series, as the series has expanded, shows that these guys are like multiverse destroying creatures. I mean, hell, that giant skeleton of a demon guy would have threatened all of reality, and Doomguy killed it with just pure rage. And probably a lot of bullets, let's be real, a lot of bullets. And we've seen him handle like being blasted into space and being completely fine, whereas Chief has survived atmospheric re-entry, but his armor had to go into like a stasis lock and he was pretty much immobilized until the Marines found him and took him out of armor
Yeah,
lock.
although you can scale him to Noble 6, who also survived atmospheric re-entry, and he'd go back up, and I mean he was staggered a little bit, but he was all right.
Yeah, but when he was staggering, whereas Doomguy's been blasted to Mars at light speed, and he was ready to kick ass immediately with no scratch.
I was gonna say, like, I'll save like more reasoning for when we just figure out who we're going for.
Right, like, I mean, we already said what we're hoping for. We're looking forward to. It's got to be a 3D fight, and I don't want it to go
The
like.
soundtrack's got to be metal as hell.
Yeah, it really does. And I don't think this episode's a stomp. Like, yeah, you could argue Doomguy has more advantage of his weapons and strength. Chief being faster, and maybe his plasma weapons could give him an advantage.
There is
There's also
one
that
thing.
the antimatter like tech apparently.
no,
like
here's-
the Forerunner's tech.
No, Sean. I was about to bring that up. I remember like looking into the Promethean weapons, thinking, "Hold on, those things disintegrate like people and vehicles. Like, wait, is there a case for them to be antimatter?" I looked into it. They are not.
Then you got proven wrong by Yang, apparently saying that the Forerunner's tech can disintegrate you at the atomic level.
That is true, actually. That is something that's been stated by like Guilty Spark, that a lot of their weaponry was made because the reason that Forerunner's tech was so dangerous was because they had to deal with a powerful threat known as the Flood, because slicing them up, blowing them up was just not working. They had to realize we need to kill their food supply, but we need to make sure there's no trace of any organic flesh. So, hence the Halo rings were created to wipe out all life. The Forerunners were slightly generous. They managed to save a bit of DNA to repopulate the planets. They just didn't think about that for themselves. Oopsie daisy. I've just pictured Scott going, alright, Matthew, you definitely put our DNA in this as well, right? Yeah, I totally did. Are you sure?
I mean,
because this will kill us.
There was one Forerunner left in a shield world who turned out to hate humanity and want to massacre all of them.
Oh god, yeah, just forget about that. This is just a lot of plots after Halo 3 I just wasn't keen on. I did like Halo Infinite though. I think people are just overhating it just because the multiplayer is just lackluster. I still enjoy the story. Let's play in the description below.
I remember there was this thing that happened to me once when I was playing Infinite. I called in some vehicle, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it might have been a Wasp actually. and a Marine with rocket launcher like ran out into the drop site, got crushed by it. Another Marine ran over, took his rocket launcher, and just left.
Yeah, that was a glitch that was happening a lot in the first bit where Marines were just not moving from the launch pad and so many Marines just met their end.
Yeah, but I love how
No,
the second one was
Scotty!
just like, mine now.
Oh no, Scotty died. Ooh, cool rocket launcher.
Oh god. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to just kind of bring up though, like, I feel as though this episode, one, it's great that, you know, Halo and Doom are still getting recognition to this day, and, you know, people are generally hyped for this episode. Yeah, I do think Master Chief is gonna lose. I've always been that sort of person where I feel as though they shouldn't do a rematch unless the outcome is different. Unless, you know, it's an episode that's controversial and they want to elaborate more on it, hence Goku vs Superman 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Meanwhile, I'm one of those that's like, if the sole reason you want an episode remade is because you want it to have the opposite result, then that's not enough.
Yeah, like, I think Ben's brought up in the past, the reason they don't want to do Yang versus T for a rematch is because Ben has even said, it just feels as though we'll just be explaining exactly how we explained it in Cloud versus Link, which is like, that's somewhat valid, really. Like, if you...
Yeah. Also, let's be real, a lot of people, there were people that voted for that just because they wanted to see Yang lose.
I mean, when you compare the popularity, Tifa is definitely one of the most popular of the busty brawlers.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying, like, you can't deny that is their reasoning. That they just want to see Yang get killed.
I mean, I feel so the majority as well, because when that episode came out, many people weren't just disappointed with the analysis, even I thought the episode didn't really do Tifa's character justice, and overall the animation compared to Torian's previous 3D fight was a bit lackluster. It's cool they got the original Yang voice actor, but to me that was the only saving grace for it. As well as the death, actually. The death was also pretty cool.
Well, I feel like this one, regardless, definitely needs the rematch, just because, like, they got both Doomslayer and Chief got, like, so much material after their other episode that there's so much more they can even do with this.
Yeah, and especially with how good their animation quality is these days. Like, if they really did hold off on this episode like they did with Cole versus Alex, we probably would be looking at a really epic episode. Now, granted, I don't think they could hold off using Master Chief for as long as this rematch, because Master Chief is one of those iconic video game characters of all time. Hell, I think he's one of Xbox's few popular IPs at this point.
Yeah, no, like, he is the Xbox mascot.
Yeah, like, it's not Banjo-Kazooie, it's not... I'm trying to think what other character they tried to do that was, like, meant to be, like, a rival to mascots. I don't think they ever did. I think it was literally Banjo-Kazooie, and then the game they used was pretty bad, and now he's kind of stuck in limbo. Apparently rumors were Grabbed by the Ghoulies was supposed to be another icon they would have... But it's hard to imagine freaking Cooper from Grabbed by the Ghoulies being an Xbox icon.
I guess you could maybe count Steve from Minecraft just on the basis that, like, Microsoft owns Mojang now.
I guess, but they kind of bought that character, really. It's not like he was a mascot within Microsoft.
So
whereas
there's an asterisk to it.
Whereas Master Chief's been an icon for Xbox for decades.
Which I have to admit, I'm somewhat still gutted that Chief never got into Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we got Doomguy at least. As a
The
costume.
only other mascot I could think maybe for Xbox is Marcus Phoenix, but that's it.
To be honest, that's another Xbox character who I'm looking forward to the prequel game that's coming out. Freaking E-Day, let's go. I think that's something you could say for like a lot of Xbox's mascots. They're definitely the more manlier games. Like, freaking like...
Oh look, Nintendo! It's mascot show and tell. What do you have? An Italian llama. Tony, what do you have? He's a colorful Bandicoot. Xbox, what did you bring? What is that? This is Marcus Phoenix. He has a Lancer that's part chainsaw. Why chainsaw?
Which even Bill Gates apparently said he almost fainted when he saw that when they were showing off Gears of War for the first time. The moment Bill Gates is saying, "I want that game," you get that game out there. I don't know. I can't remember the person. Whoever was a man that decided, let's have a gun, Lancer be a chainsaw, did not get enough money. Like, they did not get paid enough for that idea.
Jesus, imagine if we get a Gears of War character in Death Battle, just Boomstick's reaction to the arsenal.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. And speaking of great, I'm looking forward to this episode. I love Halo, I love Doom, I grew up with both of these games. Well, add into the edgy bitch phase that I seem to be... As we've done this year of Death Battle, I'm starting to realise I grew up with some very violent stuff.
Yeah, you did.
I turned out great,
Don't
though.
worry, man. Don't worry,
Well,
man.
then
You'll have
again,
your time.
one of the first anime I ever watched involved a giant bug man drinking a dude from the inside out.
I was gonna say, you'll have your time to shine with episode 200.
Oh boy.
But yeah, like, overall, I'm really excited for this episode. Like, the last episode was really good, but I just didn't have the hype for it. This one, though, when I saw the reveal, I was a little gutted. It is just Master Chief again. At the same time, I'm like, woohoo, Master Chief, let's go! That Doomguy.
I'm excited for this episode as long as I stay out of community stuff.
The community's
You
kind
can say
of...
that about any death battle, really.
I feel as though this one in particular has definitely had a bit more of the toxic Doom fans, which I've never seen toxic Doom fans before until now. It's like, come on, why can't Master Chief and Doom have that Isabel and Doomguy fan?
Why can't
stuff?
we be friends?
Exactly. It's like,
So-
it's even sadder because that Amazon series, I think it was called Level 1. It was like similar to the people who've done like Love, Death and Robots are doing their own little animated shorts of like different video game characters. There was originally going to be a Doom and Halo crossover episode. And then
Microsoft said no.
yeah, and I'm just like, you have two of the most popular first-person shooters of all time. The people behind this show want to do a crossover episode of it, and you said no. Oh wait, these are the same
Xbox
people
hates
that...
free money.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on a minute. These are the same people that said yes to the Halo TV show without even looking at it. So do you know what? I'm not surprised.
Do you imagine, like, with people just going on and on about how, like, Chief doesn't stand a chance, and then next thing we know, he wins?
I mean, I wouldn't be
Well,
against
that
that.
begs the question:
Nor would I.
are any of us picking Chief in this case?
I really want
No.
to, because there's one that's good. Doomguy's died before, and he's come back.
I've heard that canonically nowadays he can't die.
I'm not entirely sure about that. Maybe that's like in the expansion that came out for Eternal, which I never played. I just saw the ending cutscene when he had that badass one line, "Do you have nothing to say to your created stab?" No. Can I just point out as well, they literally paid a voice actor to give Doomguy just one line. And that guy probably had a good time just saying no.
Imagine that clip, but with that bald eagle clip Bill likes to use.
just Doomguy's head over the eagle. No. But that guy who got to voice Doomguy just for that one line, he needs to have a certificate for that. I got to voice Doomguy, but he barely says anything. Exactly. Do you have that certificate?
Yeah, I could see them, but like still in the episode, they might do voice acting if they incorporate Cortana in some way, or like just an AI. Or
I mean-
Yuzu.
Chief does talk.
Yeah, he does. And more than Doomguy, like, I don't think Doomguy is going to have a voice actor. He does have an AI in his head
I mean,
as
they
well.
might just bring Liam in to have him say "rip and tear."
Yeah. Oh, that's actually another line he says in the game, actually. When we do a flashback. But yeah, overall, my final say on this, I'm looking forward to this. I don't think Chief is as screwed as people say. There are things, like, people, similar to, like, Skyrim and Dark Souls, ignoring the gameplay aspect of, you know, Master Chief. The novels, he literally punches a banshee out of the air. Grunts see that, and they're like, this shit.
This amount.
Or how about one time he managed to punch a gravity hammer out of the arms of a chieftain? Or this is actually canonical to the Halo 3 novel. There's a moment in Halo 3 where you're surrounded by brutes and the chieftain challenges you, and you can actually have a one-on-one fight with him. Apparently in the novel, Chief put his rifle away and fought him with fist while that guy had a gravity hammer. Literally, Chief could have just cheesed that, but he put his rifle away and was like, "Come at me." And he won. Like, he beat him to
He
death.
fought the law and he won.
Which is still cool. Overall, though, I know Death Battle are going to do Master Chief justice, because the people behind the show are definitely more Halo fans than Doom, from as far as I've seen. Because when they were doing the original episode, many were mostly hyped for Master Chief. Actually, no, Chad is a bit of a Doom fan, actually. But I think
Chad is a Doom fan.
Yeah, but I think he's also stated that he does like Halo more. I could be wrong on that. I'm just going by memory from podcasts I've watched 8 years ago, so, you know, my memory could be a bit fuzzy.
If I remember right, there was also this, like, behind-the-scenes thing when they were recording some episode, and Chad said, like, he was talking to Blaine, and he was like, hey, did you guys ever do a death battle with the guy from Doom? And Chad was like, yeah, don't watch it.
Oh, wow. That is yeah, but given how much they regret that episode, I know they're going to do this episode
I think
justice.
it's in part of, like, just their own performances as well.
Yeah, to be fair, Boomstick's orgasm at the guns was a bit cringy, even back then. But yeah, my final say before we move on to our third topic. I'm excited for this episode because these two characters are going to get a proper analysis. They're going to have a really good animation, I hope. And hopefully, regardless of who wins or loses, they give both the characters the respect they deserve. Because gaming shooters would not be how they are without these two. And that's my final say on that.
I mean, despite what some idiots online might think. Actually, wait, is that group even still a thing anymore?
I don't know. There's a lot of creeps online, mate. You have to be specific.
You know what? I'll tell you off camera just in case.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I was about to say, in case it wasn't obvious, I think everyone in the call is going for Doomslayer for different reasons.
Begrudgingly, yeah.
If he wins, then, like, if Master Chief wins, then huzzah. But if Doomguy wins, I'm also happy because, you know, I love both these two. So it's like, either way I win and lose. So it doesn't matter what outcome happens.
It's gonna be a fun episode regardless.
Yeah.